I'm here with Brian Reynolds. He's a managing director at Capital Funding Group. You guys are one of the largest HUD lenders in the senior care market. Where do you find your business, and how many mortgage originators do you have who are bringing all this business in?
Well, we consider ourselves relationship lenders. We have a lot of long-term clients. We get a lot of referral business and repeat business from those clients. We have about 8 folks on the team that service the entire country. We have a little bit of a different philosophy. Obviously, we only do healthcare, and we like to sell from a position of knowledge. So rather than have 25 or 30 associates out pitching a number of products, we have 6 or 8 folks that are out specifically pitching FHA and those ancillary products, bridge to HUD loans, working capital, those kind of things.
And it looks like you're going to have a record year this year
Yeah.
on the HUD side. Specifically,
absolutely, yeah.
What do you attribute? I mean, what do you attribute that to?
We probably do 600 or 700 million in HUD's fiscal year this year. We've already done $500,000 in their year to date. I think that there's macro issues still with banks not being terribly active, and a lot of folks still aren't back in the space, and interest rates are very low. But I think that the success of the Lean program, even though the queue is long, it's transparent now. So you know where you are in that queue, and you can see progress being made. So I think the success of that program has been very helpful.
So the borrower can go on vacation for a few months knowing one's going to come up again.
Yeah, so I get an email telling them where they moved.
I know that HUD has been the lender of choice, and sometimes the only lender for skilled nursing facilities in the past. Do you find that's going to be changing anytime in the intermediate future?
I don't. Obviously, as more capital comes in to the market, you're going to find that there's 3- and 5-year deals to be had. But there's no really 10-year money out there. Maybe the best borrowers can find that. You're not going to find 30-year fixed money, of course.
At 4.9% non-recourse.
Yeah, close. And you're in the low 4s today, actually. So,
okay.
yeah, I mean, I just don't see that. I've always said that once you start to see the 10-year deals come out, that's when a blow-up occurs. So we'll see a lot of 3- to 5-year stuff coming, but no long-term fixed rate stuff.
And are you guys looking more at the one-off properties, small portfolios, or are you really going after some of the big stuff? I know you've been looking at some of the big stuff that's kind of clogged the system for a while, but what are you really pursuing?
We, I think that's kind of a misconception about our company. We do a lot of portfolios, but about half of our portfolio is mom and pops. I don't know, that's probably not the right word, independent owners that have less than 10 buildings, and most of those have less than 5. So we have a large portfolio. We really built our portfolio on that. We did do the first large portfolio with Mr. Preston. And we continue to do portfolios, but we have a large clientele of small to mid-sized operators as well.
But that's your bread and butter, the mid-sized and even the really small guy.
Absolutely,
okay.
Absolutely. Remember, if you're doing 20 loans or you're doing 1 loan, you're still doing 20 loans with HUD.
Right.
There's no, there is some economies, of course, but you're still doing 20 loans.
And almost all the loans, it seems, that come across my desk that you guys do, it's all the skilled nursing side. Do you do anything in assisted living?
We do. About 10% of our portfolio is assisted. It may have been HUD's largest assisted portfolio, I don't know for sure. It was about 90 million or so with one borrower in 2009. Obviously there's competition there, Fannie, Freddie,
but they can't do 35
can't
years.
do 35 years, but they do some 10-year stuff that's attractive, for a lot of assisted living folks. So it's more difficult to get that business.
But do you see yourself pursuing that more?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We continue to pursue that, along with the skilled side. But we'd like to do a lot more assisted living business. We do a fair amount of assisted living construction. Fannie and Freddie don't really do that. So we've been able to do. So actually, have a couple projects going right now on the construction side with HUD.
And in your dealings with HUD, how are they viewing the 11.1%? Everyone calls it that; it's an average. But the 11.1% Medicare cut. How are they looking at when they see the financial statements, current financial statements, Are they restating it? Are they looking to you for advice? I mean, are they getting a little nervous about this?
They are. I mean, thus far, they haven't published anything. What we've been doing is we've gone back and looked at the buildings we had in the queue, and are actually cutting the revenue by the current road rates. Could be 11, but obviously that's the average. We took into account a 7 to 8% cut anyhow in everything we've submitted, kind of as precautionary
Right.
measure. I think a lot of folks did that. At least I hope they did. So we have a little bit to make up. I mean, there's been additional revenue cuts, obviously, and some Medicaid cuts in some places as well. HUD really requires you to use published rates, so we will be using published rates to underwrite revenue, but we also will give credit to expense cuts. So if you have expense cuts that make sense, we'll certainly will include those in the underwriting.
Right. Okay. And I know you're having a great year this year, a record year. How's your 2012 pipeline looking? Is it going to be just as busy?
I hope so, obviously, but if a few things hit, we could do the same. Obviously depends on HUD's queue and timing, but we have a very robust pipeline. We were anticipating that as we saw the success of the lean program, so we've beefed up our staffing, specifically on the processing side and underwriting side. So we're definitely prepared to have another big year, and I think we will. So hopefully we'll eclipse it.
And if you had to sum it up in something, what would you say capital funding's differential advantage is? I mean, why are you getting so much business?
A couple things. I think the first reason we get there's so much business is that this is really our bread, but this is our business. This is what we do. We don't do long-term care finance. The biggest part of what we do is FHA. We have the Bridge to HUD programs. We have what we like to call a one-stop shop for long-term care. So working capital needs, the HUD, the Bridge to HUD, all those things, we have all those products to sell. And we focus specifically on this sector, which I think gives us an advantage in knowledge over some of our competitors.
Right. And I think a lot of people think of you as a HUD house and forget that if someone needs to do, close a deal or something very quickly, you do that bridge loan that's going to be taken out by HUD. And I think people forget about that, you can do that short-term loan, which is very beneficial, especially in the acquisition market.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, good luck next year. Hope you have another record year.
Great. Thank you very much.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for sitting down.
Thanks.